I wore Flowerbomb Extreme. Let's talk about it. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Today we're gonna be talking about Flowerbomb Extreme. A lot of nostalgia in the Flowerbomb fragrances, and actually when it first released, Flowerbomb OG, it was one of like my obsessions. If a woman wore Flowerbomb, I was like floating on the scent trail. Little young Neebster was still digging the fragrances and the perfumes. I've been into fragrance and perfumes for a long time. I thought it was just so damn sexy. The quality of fragrances in 2005, even in the designer realm, has come such a long way because during the time, I don't think I realized how the qualities changed, and obviously I didn't sniff over 4,000 fragrances, 5,000 fragrances for me to be able to distinguish quality versus not quality, etc. And so I loved that DNA, man. You know, my mom purchased it. I thought it just smelled amazing. Flowery, sugary, vanillic, super damn sexy. My history and love for that fragrance is why this in itself is pretty nostalgic. I believe there were a lot of other cheapy brands that kind of tried to do that DNA, but never really captured it. And then a bunch of flankers started releasing. We had the Tiger Lily, which was decent, and then the Nectar, which I personally loved right after that. But even after that, I started to, you know, sniff a bunch more perfumes and fragrance and realize that there's something very synthetic about this. Now, I don't know if it's one of two things. Number one, it's always been there and it just started to like, you know, snap in my mind after sniffing and creating perfumes and fragrances myself. Or number two, their quality has changed or dropped in their fragrances. Because for whatever reason, I get this plasticky, waxy undertone no matter what. And it's with every single flanker now. Obviously, we're in 2025 and the initial fragrances were in 2005, and batch reformulations are a real thing. It happens inevitably because you can't guarantee the same level of quality ingredients every single year. Even if you're using naturals, you can't guarantee that this year's rose will smell like next year's, so on and so forth. So I'm not sure which one it is, but regardless of the fact, I've been having a really hard time getting back into Flowerbomb. It could also be because of the fact that I'm dabbling into a lot of niche. So at the top of the fragrance, you're going to get that signature Viktor&Rolf Flowerbomb DNA, which I think is so sexy. And enveloping the scent profile is a jammy, thick style of raspberry, and I do find it to be sexy. It's following somewhat of the trend of like other fragrance brands that were using raspberry. Azzaro did their thing with their men's fragrance, the Wanted Elixir, and now Flowerbomb did that. So the opening, incredible. Love it for the first 2 minutes. After that, for like from 2-minute mark to about hour to hour and a half, I just get that super synthetic, plasticky style of florals for too long. Unfortunately, for too damn long. I really wanted to love this. I even rocked it. It was projecting nicely. I could smell it nicely. And obviously you have to test your fragrance to, you know, be able to come and review it and tell you longevity. And that's just personally how I like to roll. And in all honesty, I find most fragrance to be unisex. I mean, when you look at a rose, you don't say that that's women wear rose or jasmine. It doesn't have a gender, neither do fragrances, although marketing and other certain psychological aspects like delicacy is attributed to femininity, etc. And it does come back to like sex appeal and stuff. So I'm not gonna argue that. I do find certain fragrances to lean more towards the feminine side of things when they have a certain level of delicacy. And this one definitely leans towards the feminine side of things, needless to say, including in the marketing strategies, etc. And socially and psychologically agreed on, obviously. With all that being said, the fragrance idea is really good, but man, I just don't know what it is. It's got to be the combination of the orange flower and jasmine. It's very fatty, but also synthetic, and it borderline gives me a headache. I really didn't enjoy wearing it. The fragrance in the beginning was really good, and the dry down was also really nice. It's not that complex of a fragrance. It has that powdery rose along with the sweetened vanilla in the dry down, but mostly just going to be enveloped in that jammy style of raspberry with a lot of synthetics. It's just not it, ladies, I'm sorry. In terms of the projection and performance, this one did last for a solid, I would say 8 hours on skin. The last 2 hours was pretty faint and a skin set. On clothing, it did last up to 10 hours and it was projecting very nicely. It's not gonna give you anything more than that. Aside from the fact, if you can get over that, or if you don't pick up on the synthetics, it smells, in theory, it's supposed to, like, it smelled good. I got the idea of it right from the beginning. I was like, damn, it's good. But that plastic vibe just crept in and killed the whole experience. So that's pretty much it for Flowerbomb Extreme. I wonder if they made a niche version of this in a higher quality of, you know, ingredients. Although this isn't that cheap, so it should theoretically smell a little bit higher quality. It just doesn't. I personally would not gift this. I wouldn't buy it again, and I would not personally recommend it. And this is Flowerbomb Extreme, reviewed from a man's perspective. I hope you ladies and gentlemen enjoyed watching this video. Please make sure to leave a like, hit that subscribe button, and let me know down in the comment section if you have tried this or picked up on any of that synthetic vibe. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.